The sharp-framed elf known as Patroclus enters the courthouse lobby. It's not as busy as it usually is, but there's a man standing there in robes that he approaches. It's one of the court stewards. I've got an investor, a pair that I've met in my travels. I think this might be just the opportunity that Liam is looking for. Hello and welcome to another adventure with Myths and Mystics. We're an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To my right, Gerald Waldrop as Zarin, the Changeling Avenger.
Hail and well met.
Natasha Waldrop as Vanya, the half-drow assassin.
Hello.
And Matt Murphy as Stone, the human mystic.
Don't you mean Fransin?
Fransin and Hansin.
Hansin and Fransin, we are
This
here
is-
to invest in you.
This is gonna
Invest
be
in you.
Jesus. Are you
This is
gonna be able to do this for whatever duration?
You
of
better
I was
hope we
they
kill him
won't be
quick.
able to stop.
I was born for this.
I strongly doubt this. And this is
I don't
where
think you know what you're in for.
I think I got a preview of it just now. And I am Steve Messenger, your DM. Thank you for jumping in and tuning in. All of our friends on Twitch that are live streaming with us. If you want to catch us Friday nights, we're doing things a little bit different now. We're doing 2 episodes at a time, and then in the meantime, when you guys are normally listening to commercial breaks on iTunes, on the podcast, we're just hanging out, we're talking, you get to see what we're like in between, and that sort of thing. And then those of you that are downloading us on the podcast, you'll get the sort of edited commercial version.
Yes.
Commercials.
Yeah.
The commercial version
with
of
all
the
the
commercials.
commercials.
Yes. So as we discussed last time, if you're interested in partnering with us, if you've got a podcast that you're running and you want to do a little cross-promotion thing, just to keep things growing and moving stuff around, hit us up. We're interested in always checking out new stuff. And then also, I mean, just growing the community and that sort of thing. We'd love to introduce our listeners to what you're listening to or what you're doing and the likes thereof. Likes thereof.
I like the likes.
Also, if you're looking to start your own business and you want to advertise on here, maybe you're trying to be the next meal in a box guy, you know,
Or snack in a box.
snack in a box. You've got all kinds of
Yeah,
ingredients.
Is that not a thing yet? That should so be.
There is
Is a
Is
snack
it?
in a
Okay.
box?
snack in a box. What kind of
Close.
snack in a box?
There's Justin Timberlake in
Snack in a
Lonely
box.
Island. Snack in a
For
box.
sure. Meal in a box.
It's not snack in a
I did invent a few years ago a character named Petey the Snacky Time Penguin,
Yes.
and I
Trademarked.
would love to make him your mascot. So if you're starting your Snacky Time business, I would love to introduce Petey the Snacky Time Penguin.
Just full disclosure, he had a heroin problem.
The penguin.
Don't worry, it was comical and tasteful.
Yes. Okay.
Very tasteful.
It has to be tasty. He's a snacky time penguin.
Exactly.
You did this snack time thing?
Everything he does is tasteful.
Dude, we did some snacky time nachos. Let me tell you. All right. I'm not going to derail too much here, but if you have pulled
Too
pork
late.
and you put it on nachos, it's amazing. All right. Moving right along. Last time, friends, last time on the show, you were hatching a plan, almost like Ocean's 11 style, where you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're going to infiltrate
Except incredibly more complex.
and insane. Because here, I'm thinking like, hey, you just need to make it look like you have 3,000 gold.
Right.
Like, get a bag,
We went all out.
put some rocks in it. put gold on top.
Oh, we really missed that.
Like
That was a big miss on our part.
they took it as like we need to look like
We're made of money.
literally looking to find ways to stitch gold coins into the thing. The most asinine plan I've ever heard of. Because, I was looking to buy a car a while ago, and I just was like putting $20 bills in my pockets, just kind of hanging out a little. Like, oh, that's just tip of the iceberg. You should see what's really in there. Oh, boy. Yikes. So that was the thing.
Subject to loose interpretation.
That's what the game's all about, right?
Hey,
Minimize
ever.
casualties.
So
Yeah.
we have a duo of Zarin and Stone that looks
Hansin and Fransin.
Hansin, yeah.
more
ja.
or less looks like, what were their names? Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, but one of them is riding on an elk.
And the other one has Van Sniffler sniffing at.
Yes.
And
Oh my gosh, I can't take it.
the,
Good thing Vanya's
And where's
there.
Vanya going then?
yeah, the three of you
We're just gonna walk up for this meeting.
Yeah, the three of you just stepped out of the pet store, and you are now facing down the stretch, looking at the courthouse. To give you an idea, stairs go up to the courthouse, right? And it looks kind of like your basic Lincoln
It's like a
Memorial.
marble. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then up on the buildings on the left and right side, they're tall buildings. They're probably 4 or 5 stories tall. Your friend Colt, the gray-maned tabaxi that you've been allied with, he is going to be taking his sniper perch up on the building on the right.
Okay. So Vanya
That
also
would be stage left. if we were in the
I always
courthouse.
get confused when we talk about stage left.
Okay. So we're all on the same page. Great.
Yep.
So Vanya also has a balkavet. So being they've been talking about her.
Yeah, no one knows what she looks like.
Well, I'm just gonna pull it up just in case. So when I am
Not suspicious at all.
out in the, that's fine. No one needs to see my face. I have my hood. I have that up, and I'm gonna go tell these two. I'm going to go meet up with what's his name? Colt.
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 Like Colt 45.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes.
It's the name of his sniper bow.
Why wouldn't you
Yes.
take another position?
We said we'd meet up with him. I will go, tell him what we do, and then
Oh, because he might not recognize us. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not
we are
gonna
very
see.
incognito.
He's not going to see the blue and orange tuxedos walking up the front steps.
yes, he also may
like-
know this area better than I. I
He's
do
Colt-
not sit on top of buildings.
Colt's gonna be
often.
like, "Damn, 2 investors got there before my guys.
This plan's foiled.
This one's burned. We're out. Peace out."
Okay, so Vanya, you take off up towards the. There's a staircase that leads up, and gentlemen, you are now one of you, Stone, is riding an elk, or are you leading the
No,
elk?
I'm riding
ooh,
it.
ooh, right before I go, I tell him that
We're
they need
both-
to give me a minute because I have to go up there, talk to him, and then go back down and go on another building.
We're both riding this elk.
Yeah. Okay, so Zarin is mounted up front, and he's holding Niffler in one hand and the reins to the elk in the other. And then Stone is in the back, and I would imagine you're just kind of looking around, maybe? Or are you posed
Holding his
majestically?
monocle.
Yes.
Maybe you've got your bag of coins, and you're just
I'm counting and dropping coins.
just putting
Well,
them.
you're dropping coins. We didn't give him any money, right?
He has his own money.
Okay, cool.
That I'm picking them back up because that's how you stay rich.
with your mystic hand.
Yes. No, I'm not a mystic. I'm just flipping a coin.
No one knows.
Okay, so the folks that see you coming up, they are parting ways. This is a scene that has not been seen in
Yes.
Enervis probably ever.
That's
Probably
right.
ever. Maybe at some of the more extravagant parties that go on
Oh,
where
I
there's
love it.
like themed and everything. But like just normal every day, like no one has seen a display quite like what they're seeing right now.
They haven't seen this much money.
That's right. That's right. Young money coming through. And as you are making your way up and the crowd is parting, we now have cut over to Vanya, who is coming up now, up the steps, up to the rooftop. And you see that along the ledge there, overlooking is, in fact, Colt. And he's got his cloak pulled up and facing, I guess, out towards the crowd down below. you can see that his cloak is sort of shifting light around him. But towards you, you can see plain as day it's him. It's just outside of that cloak is masking him from the crowd down below.
Neat.
And he's poised that way, but he's also been watching the steps. So when he sees you come up, he doesn't look surprised, but he nods.
We are ready.
Excellent. So I'm assuming it's your boys down there are the ones dressed like idiots.
They needed a disguise.
Yeah, disguise is usually to blend in, not stand out. But seems as though they've got their own interpretation as to what.
At that point, you hear, anyone know where we can make more monies in this town?
Why is he trying to make more money? They're supposed to be made of money. They're supposed to have
Not that we need it, but we always want more for our collection of money.
All right. He says, so here's the deal. We're not able to really see through these windows unless we can either A, open these windows up somehow, or B, get them out on the balcony.
It is so dark in here. Let's open the windows.
So
We haven't gotten in yet, I don't think.
you're saying that down on the streets. He says, so you might want to tell your guys somehow. I don't know if there's a way that you can communicate with them. We either need them out on the balcony, or we need to get the target near a window if we're going to have any sort of oversight on this.
All right. You are familiar with this area and around the courthouse. Where shall I go after I give message to them?
Well, if you look over the railing there, over the ledge, there is a sort of a drain that goes down. You can slide down for quick escapes, and you can cut over there and let them know when you make your way to the buildings across the street here to get a different vantage. There's a fire escape down the side. You're able to get up there and get up to the roof of the building.
All right. I will be over there shortly.
Cool. So as Hansin and Fransin are making their way through the crowd, real quick, like so many other podcasts, the longer that they go, like the more story driven and it gets so deep and dark and everything else. Like we're like going way off the rails like crazy.
But the story's still progressing.
Yeah, it's progressing. I just like there's a certain one that I'm thinking of that's a very popular one that most people listen to, where it becomes these long, like half-hour driven narrative pieces.
Yeah.
Ours is turning into the most bizarre shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Not be part of the mold.
And I like it.
Break the mold.
I like it. You guys are fun.
Break the mold.
So, Vanya, you are pushing your way through the crowd with your hood drawn up and your. I'm gonna say the dessert.
But yeah, baklava.
The balaclava. Balaclava. Oh my god.
The thing that goes over
got-
your face.
You
Got honey and walnut smeared over her face.
you also pick up a baklava from a nearby vendor.
I'm gonna lick her face off.
And as you pass in front of this elk, this majestic elk coming down the street, you have a quick opportunity to relay this message to Hansin and Fransin.
You're so quick.
I mean, okay.
No.
Do I have to like role play this?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to listen to these fuckers.
I don't know if you want a hand signal for like a.
Yeah,
or-
that's what I was thinking of. They see me and like, I don't know. There's no phones. No one else would know what that means.
It means I speak to you to my pinky and I hear you through my thumb.
Yes.
And then I will quickly
I know this signal well.
go out from in front of them,
All right.
but stay in his sight.
I will psionically
Telepathize.
telepathize to her mind. And say, yes.
I'm
Even
in
here, you
character.
are in character.
I can't think about having an accent and not have it in my mind. I'm so sorry.
You need to make sure target by window or you get on the balcony.
Okay.
There is no vantage otherwise
Because all the windows are closed.
Ah, yes.
because all the windows are closed.
Excellent.
Very good.
We have two positions. I'll tell him where, like directionally.
Vanya flips off Hansin or Fransin, and makes her way over to the fire escape. And
good to talk to you.
Vanya, you make your way over there. Can you roll a stealth check for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Jesus.
Oh
You
my.
said it, May. No one fucks with you, Jesus.
Haha.
I don't know why I bother having you roll stealth checks.
Dude, she got like a plus 20.
Like
so
really?
I got 19 on my die.
Okay, so you're good.
Plus
So
11.
Vanya
She
makes
de-
her way over towards that fire escape, and
Dematerializes.
she takes a moment to wait for a passerby to pass by.
Chad?
She sees a moment of opportunity to jump up. She grabs the ladder there and she pulls herself up, and you make your way up to the rooftop.
Cool.
And now you look over, and Colt gives you a nod. As there's lots of nodding now. I don't know what happened.
That's how we communicate stealthily.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone nods Jedi style. And
There was a point like a season ago where a bunch of people were in a room nodding.
it's just, it wasn't too long ago. It
Yeah.
was a few episodes ago.
All right.
All right, so you're in position.
Yeah.
Hansin and Fransin, you roll up, and there's a Legion guard that steps down from the big marble stairs there. He says, gentlemen, welcome to the courthouse. We've been told that there would be some folks coming from out of town.
Joss, is this what you call a courthouse?
Hello. I like your courthouse. It's so quaint.
Welcome,
Very quaint.
welcome to Orn. I will lead you up to the courthouse here. We'll need to leave your elk down here. We'll go ahead and take that for you and get him mounted up there in the stables.
No, definitely not. He goes where we go.
Oh,
Do you know how expensive this elk is?
Oh my god.
okay, well,
He has a
has
lot of
poop
money. He
bag.
would just
Can you-
rebuy another one.
can you roll persuasion for me, please? Normally, mounts don't come into buildings.
We'll both roll because I think we're both being very persuasive.
I
Is that your roll? You got a 7 on the die.
Yes, but I have a +7 as well.
Oh, I got a 16 with a plus 5.
Nice.
All right, one
I'm
thing.
gonna average the two of them together.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a plus 0 on persuasion. Wrong thing.
As much as I want to see
650.
how this plays out, Vanya does want this to succeed, so I would have asked them where they're from, so they're on the same page.
Oh, we got it. We got it.
You got it?
Oh, we got this all day.
We are
Okay.
masters of deception.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. It says, well, I'll tell you what. We normally don't bring animals into the courthouse, but the best I can do is bring them up to the front. There's no way the elk's going to be able to get upstairs.
You take special care to guard him then, yeah?
We'll take great care, of course, of course. Any guest of Baron Liam, absolutely, will have the finest guard over this elk. So you get up to the front door. There's a couple guards standing there, and he says, "Watson, make sure you watch this elk. And is there a preferred food for the elk? Is there something he likes to munch on?
Carrots.
Get this elk some carrots." And he says, "Absolutely." And he goes, "Logan, go get some carrots for the elk." And sure enough, this guy scurries off to go get some carrots. And he says, "Please, gentlemen, come on in." And he says, I'll take you upstairs to Liam. We just needed to check in with the guest book up front." So you guys walk in through the main doors there. And I just picture, you've got this Niffler?
Nifter.
Niffler.
The Nito.
I'm going to write that down because
A snifter.
Yeah.
Niffler.
It's a 10-ounce.
You walk in, and immediately to the right inside the door, there's sort of a window there, and there's a big guest book with a quill pen. It says, "Gentlemen, if you could just enter your name and where you're from, and I'll let Liam know that you're here and ready to meet."
Pull up the quill. And start to write. Oh, does this one not have the ink automatically? Oh.
No,
Oh, how humble. They're little pens.
we try to have the finest, but we try to accommodate it as best we can. And
That's okay. We try our best, I suppose.
a quick moment goes by, and he says, "All right, Liam is ready for you. We'll bring you upstairs." And as you are progressing up towards the steps, you notice that there are 2 guards that are escorting you up as well from behind. And you
So nice to feel so protected here, yeah?
I feel very safe.
Very.
You guys are so good with this accent. I love it.
And he says, "Well, we take great honor in having such fine investors as yourselves coming in. We know you travel with a lot of money. We want to make sure you're absolutely the safest as possible while you're here."
Oh, stop. It's such flattery, yeah?
So you guys proceed up the stairs, and this is all kind of coming back to you. Like, these are the same staircase. One set goes down, one goes up. This is where you had the exchange with Mara back in season 2 at the end. So downstairs would be the armory, and upstairs is taking you to where Zarin effectively abducted Salen for a moment, froze him in panic to assume his form. So this is all starting to click back as you're walking up these steps. You get up to the 2nd floor, and again, you have the 2 guards behind you. There are 2 guards up at the top, and there is a gentleman dressed in very, very nice formal clothes, sort of a waiter type. And he says, "Gentlemen, while you're here, is there anything I could get you to drink, something to eat, any sort of provisions that you need that would make you more comfortable during your stay?"
Do you have the filtered water?
I'm sorry, the what water?
Filtered?
Filtered
Yes,
water?
clean. It's clean.
Oh.
Not from your dirty rivers.
I wouldn't drink the water here, but I could get you maybe some fine hooch.
Hooch.
What is this hoot?
Hooch. He says. Hooch, he says.
Some fine liqueur, if you will.
Very well.
I suppose.
Hey, get us your finest.
And we'll get you something to keep your appetite as well. So he scurries off to the side. He comes back down the stairs there, and guard leads you up, and he says, "This will be Liam's chamber here. Gentlemen, we'll be outside if you need anything. Feel free to speak up. My name is Charles if you need anything." He opens the door.
Thank you, Charles, if you
Charles?
need anything.
And he laughs. He says, "I see what you did there." And he opens. There's a very even though you're on the 2nd floor, these ceilings are still very tall. You're talking probably 14-foot tall ceilings, and these double doors are massive. And he opens up this huge oak door, double door that leads into a very dark chamber. As you are entering,
It's dark.
very dark. It's
Because the windows
have been completely blacked out. So you walk in, and not only are there heavy curtains, but you can see in some places they've actually moved furniture to block out the windows. And you see at the far end, there is a desk with a lamp burning, and there is Baron Liam.
Oh, no, this will not do it. It's much too dark in here. What do you
Hansin,
say?
it is so dark.
Fransin, yes, I agree. We should open up these windows some.
Gentlemen, welcome. I'm Baron Liam. Thank you so much for
I can
coming to
barely
me.
see you, sir.
You'll have to forgive the setting. He gets up and he walks over and extends a hand for a handshake. He says, "We've had quite a few trials here lately."
I'll give
Just-
him like the hand that's like kind of slightly limp. Like put it on his hand.
Speak loudly so I can know where you are, sir.
He says,
See a thing.
"Guards, could you bring in a few more
No,
lanterns,
just
please?"
open up these windows. There's beautiful sunlight.
There's beautiful windows.
Yes, you must understand. You may not have heard from what land do you hail from?
Some the north way.
Oh, up past the capital city then.
Oh, the far north.
Oh, even farther up. Okay, up towards a place I haven't named yet. Excellent. Narratively speaking, we'll have to come up with that. He says, "Well, I greatly appreciate your travels down here.
Of course, we are here, but before we proceed, please, more light must come in.
Well, as I was saying, you likely haven't heard, there was an assassination attempt on our governor here. And we cannot take any sort of risk of opening these windows simply because someone might try to take another shot at him. Or myself, even.
Oh, sounds very unsafe here. Are we safe?
Well, that's exactly why we're here to meet. We've determined that the biggest problems that we have here in our portion of Enervis is between the plagues, all the criminal types, and then the hub. We've determined that we need to increase our military might. We can no longer rely on the hub to protect us from the likes of the plague and the deplorable types that would try to mug you while you're out and about, right? A long time ago.
So many muggings here.
It's gotten worse. It turns out, call it 20, 25 years ago, my wife was stabbed. She was traveling home late one night, and there was a pack of bandits that they saw a carriage that surely looked to be a little bit more well-to-do than a normal carriage coming through. They killed the horses.
Oh my goodness, do you think Sven is okay?
If there is horse murders going on, Sven may be in very grave danger.
Oh, so they're only interested in horses. No elk will be harmed in the.
Oh, thank goodness, sir.
The making of this
I'd be
episode.
very worried.
He says no. It was tragic though. They robbed their blind. There wasn't much on the carriage. She wasn't traveling with much money, but
We are so lucky to have made it here safely, flaunting our wealth.
yes, it's been better. We've been able to establish better control out there with these things that we call the Titans. You may have seen some on the way in there. Some of the advancements we've made with our military to restore some security in the country, and there's something new that I believe is going to set us even further apart. And that's exactly why we're meeting. So,
Yes, this is what we are interested in investing.
yes,
The Titans, yes, we've seen bigger, but yes, what is this new thing you have?
yes. Well, the new thing that we have is a device I've never seen anything like it before. We've been partnering with a mining operation deep within the Underdark, beyond the old mines, even further, where they're mining these minerals that will combust in fire, and when mixed with other things, it creates a fire that burns even on water. It will stick to any surface, and when it makes contact, there's no hope for those that are on the other end. And my goal is to outfit not only my Titans, but even every soldier with at least some sort of armament that will produce this fire.
What happens if the soldiers get to firearms themselves?
Well, that's the brilliant part, is that the counterpiece to this is there's actually some armament that we can get that will protect them from said fire.
This armament sounds very valuable. Now tell us more about this.
Yes, well, it's still in development. So while we are producing the fire-breathing devices, we still need to get the armor developed, and that's where we're falling short on the gold in the funding. I'm trying to get our treasury to open the funds, but there's some concern there that the amount that we need to spend up front might deplete our resources, our liquid cash flow.
How much do you need to spend up front for these armors?
We're looking around 3,000 gold.
3,000 gold.
Oh, that's not very much. They won't
No.
open the coffers for that. But before we do
Please,
investing,
Fransin, you forget where we are. Here in Orin, 3,000 gold, probably lots of money.
I'm sorry. We did not mean to offend.
Not.
Well, the truth is 3,000 gets the ball rolling, and most investors that have come in, we're usually talking 3,000, 4,000 tops.
Well, that's penny change where we're from in Richland. Richland.
We come from Richland by the North Way.
The Richland Northway.
Yes.
That's going to just be the name of it, Richland Northway. It says, yes, well, all said and done, it's probably going to cost north of about 17,000 to 18,000 to outfit the entire Legion.
Well, that is considerable for investment. I wonder what we will get in return. But I think before we learn more about the money, is that how do we know that the investment will be worthwhile?
Well, the goal here is that once we are able to part ways with the hub, who's been monitoring much of our exchange rates and that sort of thing, we'll have more cash flow, as we won't be having to effectively pay them to facilitate all of this. So if we can claim our independence, we'll have more cash on hand. The return then would be we would be able to partner with you, your country, to provide you with similar weapons.
Very good, but that is all depending on the fact that we know that both the fire that does not stop burning, in fact, continues to burn, and that you are able to produce the armor. Yes, so
I think what Fransin is trying to say is there a demonstration of sorts
a
available?
demonstration. Very good, Fransin.
Absolutely. I would be more than honored to do that. It's not safe up here to do, but we could travel maybe down into the armory. I could do a small-scale demonstration for you as to what that would look like.
Small scale. Why is everything so small scale
It's
here,
very
Francis?
small. I've never seen such small things.
The ceilings. I'm claustrophobic. I feel like they're closing
Okay,
in.
breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. It will be fine. It will be fine.
Roll a persuasion check.
Damn it.
And here's what I'm gonna do.
Oh no.
I mean,
We're gonna average the two.
we got a 14.
Well, it can look forced. I got a 9. Yeah, just a 9.
I think you can roll like to aid another to help give me advantage on mine.
Yeah. So
What? Why have we not been doing this the entire time we played
That's
D&D?
what I'm asking you right
there's-
now.
There's a number of different ways to do it where I've seen it done where someone can aid someone else where you get
Aid
like
another.
a +2.
Aid another. It's advantage.
Yeah, there's also advantage. There's multiple ways to do it, or you take the average of the two.
That's terrible. That's the worst
Yeah,
possible.
well, that's also in the book.
That's the worst possible.
All right. So what'd you roll?
Man,
A 9 and a
14.
7.
I mean, don't
I rolled
you,
a 14 total.
14.
don't you feel inspired by what we're doing here, though? I feel so very inspired.
Very inspired, Francis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So inspiring.
I'll tell you what. Baron Liam, he looks up and he says, "Well, it would be good to do a demonstration."
Ja. Why
In
don't
fact-
you let all your people know how safe they will be?
He says,
A public demonstration.
Yes. Oh, Publix. I like the sounds of this.
He says, I've been keeping this under wraps for some time, but
Oh no, let it out.
I think this is time to
It's
do
time,
a public demonstration.
Yeah, time.
Yes, I'm so excited.
And that, friends, that's where we're going to cut to a break. No countdown this time? You're just 3. You're flicking me off now. Welcome to the break. You're just going to flash numbers the whole time? You know how distracting that is? Welcome to the break. This is where I try to do some sort of monologue and Matt just points at me the whole time, apparently. This is much like my childhood. People screaming, pointing, and I'm just like, what? I'm not supposed to do this on the swing set? What am I supposed to do? So, the break, let's talk about it. The missingmystics.com, it's a website you get on your computer or your mobile device or someone else's mobile device that you might have stolen. I'm not pointing any fingers. Someone is. Get on there. Go to missingmystics.com. There's usually something you can favorite, and then you can go back there, and then you can look at pictures. You can look at our videos. You can find out when we're streaming. And you can just learn about the show. We love to do this stuff, and we hope that you love it when we do stuff too. Well, welcome back to the show is what I'll say next. So thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye. Welcome back from the break. Hope you got a tasty snack, something that you can dip in some cheese.
Always miss the snacks.
Beer
Some
cheese.
beer cheese.
Ooh,
Beer
I
cheese
love
and
that that's like
pretzels.
huge now.
Beer cheese.
Yes.
2 pretzels.
Yes. Like every restaurant has it now. I
Love it.
love it.
That's great.
As long as it's not too bitter.
I haven't had that yet.
Don't want a bitter.
Where did you
bitter
get
cheese.
bitter beer cheese?
There's some people that think that you should have bitter beer cheese, and that is not the better. of
They
the
are
bitter.
wrong. They're flat wrong,
I don't want to
friend.
get beer cheese wherever you got the bitter beer cheese, so please steer me away from it.
Better beer. Have you had beer cheese soup? Because that
Yes,
Is-
and
Killer.
beer cheese popcorn. Oh, it's so good.
That was
I haven't
good
had
too.
that. All right. Thank you for tuning back in.
Let's just do a snack review podcast.
Love
it.
We're
Yeah,
there.
we are no longer
on
a
it.
D&D 5th edition actual play. We are now snack review. That would actually be a good podcast.
Snack review.
review?
Review.
Then we'd have people sending us snacks to review.
Let's do that during our break.
Hells yeah.
Just start doing it, and people start sending
Podcast
it.
within a podcast.
Bam.
Bam. All right. So
If you want to have your snack reviewed, send them our way.
Yeah.
First
Contact us.
episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
during this time, Liam has sent for the guards to bring the fire-breathing apparatus, which I keep wanting to call a flamethrower. But it hails inspiration from an ancient Grecian weapon that truly existed. That it was a mix of things. They still don't know what the mix of components were.
But it was
but it would-
medieval fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it would literally stay lit on the surface of water.
They call it Greek fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I've
suppose
never
we-
heard of this.
That's pretty good stuff.
I've heard of
I
Greek
probably
fire.
should have come up with a better name of it before we started filming this episode, huh? It's been really cool to have a cool name.
Greek fire. Call it.
Has to be something with a dragon. It reminds me of Dragonfire.
Hemorrhoids. It's a burning that just
burning.
will not go away.
No matter what. Even on water, it can still burn.
Oh,
All right. So you hear some clunking coming up the steps. There's some of the guards are carrying something that's truly got some weight to it. And Liam says, "Why don't we let's come out in the hall and let's head on down to the balcony here, and we're gonna clear out down below, and we're gonna do a bit of a public demonstration."
terrific. Yeah. We're
says-
so looking forward.
He says, "Summon the crier. That's the one. The crier. We need to make a scene out of this." And he starts to step up to the front, and down below you hear the little halfling that was making all the announcements for the hangings a while ago. It says, hear ye, a public demonstration for all to behold in the public eye, a burning of a straw man with fire that cannot be doused by any normal water."
Just so good.
Oh, I love the sounds of
We know that if it will burn straw, it will burn anything.
And he says, "Behold." Oh boy.
You guys seriously trying to get invested through this?
He says, "Behold, as the gods bring out the straw man." Just about shot margarita out of his nose.
Yeah, he did. I don't get why that one's funny.
It's not getting funded.
And it says, "Normally fire would burn any normal straw, but this straw will be doused in that of soaking water."
Oh, it's going to be
And-
vet straw.
Two more guards come out with buckets of water, and they just start dousing, and everyone out in the crowd's like, "Oh my, yeah, straw covered in water doesn't burn that good." Yeah. Probably just smoke a lot. Yeah, it probably smell real bad. And he says,
Gonna get real smoky.
"Normally this
Are
would
we
just
playing
produce."
fantasy Shark Tank right now?
Normally this would produce
Yes.
copious amounts of smoke at best. But behold, as the fire-breathing apparatus is produced by none other than the great Baron Liam. And as the Baron steps out front, crowd cheers. Woo!
Woo!
And
Golf clap.
he holds up one hand to wave slowly back and forth. And he says, "Now behold, as he uses the fire-breathing apparatus, stand clear.
I think Sid needs a better name for this.
We're working on it." And he clears out, and Liam, there's a guard standing next to him that's wearing this sort of backpack device that has all the elements in it, and he hands over this nozzle, and he says, "Gentlemen, this is what we've been working on. Behold." And he cranks back on this lever, and this
Where's
thing,
Sven? Sven, get back.
At the last second, you see an elk.
No.
No elk were harmed in the filming of this episode. We already covered that. Sven's fine. You see this shimmering spray come out, and it's not like it's almost glittering when it comes out. It's just that bright, that luminescent, and it douses.
Oh, so sparkly.
Stone says, "Holy shit!" Wow, very, very shiny.
And as this liquid, as soon as it starts to get down towards the straw man, a spark emits, and this ripple of flame comes down, and sure enough, this whole thing just gets completely doused in fire. And he cuts off the valve, and everyone's "Ooh!" They're all applauding as this thing is just burning. And he says, the crier down below, "Now behold, as they try to extinguish the flame with normal buckets of water." And the guards come out.
They're not going to be able to. I know that.
They start trying to splash water on it, and it just spreads this fire out.
I'm looking up at Vanya and Colt and just kind of nodding.
Look how they're out here. Look how we're all in front of everyone right
It's so
here.
beautiful out here with this fire outside in front of everybody.
Do not say that in my head
So at this point,
with that voice.
are you gonna take a shot?
Is it clear? Vanya would know if it's clear or not. So before I take the shot, is it plausible it could be successful?
You could hit him from here.
Okay, then yeah, I'm assassinating.
All right, so Colt's looking over at you, and
We nod.
there's a nod, and there's a thieves' cant sort of sign that you both do as far as like to eliminate target, and you both lift bows and go ahead and roll attack.
I'm excited.
She likes it when she gets to assassinate.
I do. I like it so much.
Murderer.
All right.
2d20s.
2 of them. Ooh.
There we go.
I'm nervous.
She lines up.
Nice.
Okay.
That's an incredibly luminescent die.
Yeah, what were those rolls?
Higher one was 15.
Yes, I rolled a 15 and a 9. The
Okay.
higher one was 15.
So with the bonus.
Ooh.
Plus 20.
Well,
Yeah,
plus
plus
9
85.
to my 15 for hit.
Did you roll higher than a 24?
AC is 30 on this guy. No.
Oh, yeah, yes.
No. So Zarin and Stone, while you are nervously clapping as you're looking to see, like, are they doing it? You see just these 2 bolts ripple through the air, and just in quick succession, one catches Baron straight in the forehead.
That's mine.
Which is Vanya's. And as his head tips back, the next bolt goes through under his jaw and into his head from the bottom.
Goodness gracious, yes.
And as he falls back,
Does he hit the fire?
now the fire's all down below. He's falling backwards, but as he falls back, the nozzle cranks open on this thing, and it is now spraying up into the air all over the place. And it is dousing the balcony, and you see that it is now starting to fall back down towards the fire, the straw man down below.
Uh-oh.
That straw man is in trouble.
Well,
Not the straw man. So,
Oh no! I will grab him.
wait,
We have to
Hansin,
get him to safety and then drag him by the head back
Hansin
into...
I take an arrow out of my side when no one's looking at me, and I put it like in my hand, and I grasp my heart, my chest, and fall back. Oh, Fransin!
Oh no, Hans!
so wait,
I'm
so
Hans.
You're Hans. I'm Fransin.
you're grabbing a bolt from where?
From my pack,
From
my
his
side,
quiver.
All right.
and I hold it in such a way that I've also been shot, and to fall backwards.
Jesus.
Oh no! They shot me, and I fall back.
Can you? I don't know if I should do sleight of hand. to see-
Brother, hurry!
Do a deception check, please.
Okay. It hurts so bad. Gotta be able to get out of this mess.
Okay, so you grab Baron Liam.
Oh.
You get shot, and the fire's just open and going.
What is this? A sleight of hand?
Yeah.
No, deception. Yeah.
That would be an 11
That's it.
It's a,
plus my bonus.
I'm gonna.
Which just makes it 11.
I'd like
This
to
is
use
11.
my action to aid another. Did you give him an advantage on it?
Okay.
So reroll.
Okay, great. Yes.
I roll better.
Okay.
Yay!
Ooh, 15.
All right. So, how are you assisting him?
So I grabbed Liam
Yep.
and I have blood on my hands and say, "Oh no, Fransin!" And then my bloody hand I put over his chest, over the arrow, so there's now blood all
This
over
is my face.
where his bolt is. Right here. Oh
It
no!
hurts so bad right
then-
here in my chest.
And then I'll bring him down. No!
Yes, make a scene.
and then drag them both out of view.
Okay.
There's a hose of fire.
Yeah, we're getting away from that because I'm dragging them out of view.
So as you're dragging him down the hall, Vanya, you look down and you see that this mist of this sparkling, sort of gaseous, sort of liquid mix, there is now a plume of fire that's going from the strawman area that's down on the front courtyard that is now pluming back up towards the balcony.
Good thing we're not there.
Yeah, we're far from
I will make my way down the fire escape and to the hose if I can.
Yeah. So Colt, you see him turn and he is dashing backwards towards the, down towards the main stretch of the city.
away from the building.
Yeah, he's making his exit, and he kind of gives again the nod and some sort of thieves' canty sort of sign, sort of like done exit. And
It's metal horns, right?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Cut it out.
Uncle Jesse or Uncle Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you make your way down there, and Stone, while you're feigning whatever wound that you incurred. As you're laying there, you look up and you see that this cloud of fire is now erupting up and is catching all the stuff that was spilled on the balcony.
With my bonus action, I'm going to make myself impervious to fire.
Zarin, on the other hand, remains very
How many?
flammable.
No, on my next turn,
Yeah.
I'm going to hook him up too. So however many turn-based times this takes.
I'm going to give you, if you can do a successful wisdom check, I am going to allow you to not only cast on yourself, but in this special story moment that's sort of outside of combat, sort of inside combat, sort of.
Yeah.
So,
Timing is critical.
yes. Roll me a wisdom check.
D20 plus my wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
I got a +2 on this.
That's it? For wisdom?
It's 14 wisdom. That's
I got a
well above.
+5 on a saving throw, but a +2 on my modifier.
Okay.
What do you
I
cast
feel like
with?
with him being mostly wisdom based.
And a
Intelligence.
proficiency
He's
bonus.
intelligence based.
Is he?
Do I add proficiency?
I thought he was wisdom.
That's
No.
on a saving
So
throw.
would he be
supposed to.
rolling an intelligence?
Yeah, whatever you're using to cast your spell. So if it's intelligence, roll intelligence. My apologies.
Very nice.
My spells are intelligence.
Yeah. So roll
So-
that.
Okay. My attack modifier +7.
Okay. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Is that a 1?
It was.
All right. So
not-
I'm
that's
still
not
going to
what I
allow you to cast on yourself because that's something that you can do.
Yeah.
But Zarin is not affected by your attempt.
Okay.
And the fire is quickly coming down the hallway, and it actually catches a couple of the guards that were up there on fire, and they're screaming and howling as their flesh is just. I mean, it's disturbing how quickly this stuff is working. And Stone, the flame starts to cover you as well, but you're unaffected by it. Zarin, you've got a quick moment to figure out your life, man. You've got some of this stuff is on you.
I will use Baron as a body shield. Oh, it's already on me. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I've been on fire before.
Wait. I'm sorry. Here's my options. If we back up to what I could have done in that moment, all right? I have energy adaptation. One creature gains resistance to either acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder, okay? I have energy immunity, which is a 2-point more spend, 5 versus 7. One creature gains immunity to the same, okay? Resistance or immunity. One creature.
Yep.
adaptive shield, which is the one I can use on myself, is a reaction.
No.
So I think it would have best served us in that time to use my action to put something on Zarin, and I can react at any moment and put something on myself. I want to go back and meta, but they're not both equal things. So
Right.
They're two different actions. I think it's interesting. I think I'll go for it.
No.
There was a defining moment in Zarin's life when he was burning that I don't know if he fully remembers, except in this moment he might just break character, break character. I don't know if that's going to bring up any memories that he had at this particular moment, but
Okay. So
I don't know. I don't remember how he survived it before.
Yeah. So here's where we're at then.
All right.
Stone, the flames start to cover you, and while some of your clothing is affected, your spell still is able to protect even your clothing. So it's able to kind of seep through in areas, but you're relatively unscarred, unaffected.
get me out of here, Fransin.
All of the guards around you at this point are completely on fire.
Combusted.
And Stone, as you look back towards Zarin, you see that Zarin is pulling Liam up to do sort of the human shield, right? You see at the far end of the hall, there's a set of double doors, and you see the door open, and Salen pokes his head out, kind of gives the oh fuck look, and he takes off downstairs. The upstairs, while everything's mostly like tile and granite and everything else, or marble, I should say, there's a lot of like oak wood for the walls and doors and whatnot. So this whole place is starting to catch on fire. The building's going to be fine because it's marble and whatnot, but we cut over to Zarin, that as this fire is starting to wrap around you, you are trying to cover yourself, and you can feel this heat, and mentally you are sort of thrown into this sort of almost panicked, anxietal state where even though you have your wits about you, your mind starts to kind of go a little bit erratic, and your pulse starts to go a little bit nuts, to the point where you start to feel your pulse in your neck, and you start to get this ringing in your ears, and the next thing you know, you are back in this space where Mara left you. And you're on your bed, and this is normally where you'd be in your dream, where your wife would be restrained by these three figures, and you restrained as well. In this moment, something's not right. Something's incredibly off from every other time you've had this dream, had this vision. As you are looking around, can I get you to make a wisdom saving throw?
Jeez.
2 on the die.
So as you're looking around, you can't seem to really piece together why this dream seems so incredibly fragmented from what it normally is. But right now, you see the only thing that's in the room is that figure who was holding your wife with the knife up in the air. He's frozen in place, and where you're normally used to having your arms pulled back to the point where you can't do anything, you realize that you are relaxed and there's nothing else in the room.
Just him and her.
She's not there either. It's literally him, frozen in place, knife up in the air.
And you.
And how much of him can I see?
He is clad in this full black, sort of spiny, sort of sharp, jagged, like you can see the entirety of him. But he is obscured. He's wearing some sort of mask, some sort of helm.
I'm going to try to tear the helm off.
Okay, so Zarin gets up, and as you're looking around, it feels like you were there. Like, more so than even in the dream, like you always have this sense of like this pit in your stomach. as you're walking around, this feels as though you're walking around any room on any day. This doesn't feel like there's a great danger. It doesn't feel like someone's life is in danger. It's like you're walking through an exhibit in a museum. So you walk over to this figure, and this is the first time that you've had an up-close look at what you've been up against. Can you roll a perception check for me?
I sure hope so. Marginally better.
What is that? 6 on the die.
Yeah. Plus 5, 11. How average?
Yeah. So you could tell that what you were never able to really discern before what these figures were made of. You couldn't tell if that was like part of their hide, their skin, what it was. As you approach, you can see that this looks like some kind of armor with like a membrane or a blackish layer over it, almost like a skin over like a plate mail of some sort. And it has these spiny barbs that are jutting out that it's all covered with this stuff, almost like a rubbery latex almost. And as you walk up, you can see that its face, again, it's the same idea. It's like it's this helm that it's wearing, but it's covered in this black, thick, leathery sort of skin. And you place your hand up on it, and I should say you're reaching your hand up. How do you want to take off the mask, the helm?
Is it a helm with like a visor, like where I could just pull it up, or does it need to be pulled off with 2 hands?
It seems like there's a visor kind of deal underneath, but again, it's got this sort of black, leathery skin over it. So as you put your hand up, you can tell it's not just going to pop up.
Okay. I'll try forcefully, and then if it doesn't pull up with one hand, I'll move the other hand on it so I can pull it up from both sides of the helmet.
So the first attempt, you dig your thumb in underneath and you're trying to pry it up. And it's not quite giving, but you put your second hand up and you really wrench down on this. And you feel your thumbs dig into this black leathery skin and it just punctures through. The visor flips up and you see the face of the person responsible, the person who held the dagger that came down on your wife so many years ago. And that, friends, is where we're going to end this week's episode on Myths and Mystics. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.